is just piecing him up. Boxed up by literally the greatest boxer of all time. Floyd was just boxing him up, which is what he does. So that's what's interesting is Floyd's making more money than anybody, and he's boxing people who have no chance of beating him. It doesn't even hurt his record. Also, money. He needs that money. That money has to keep coming in if you're going to live like this.
It's not that expensive though, but
he's only 46. But he does this with everything, man. He's got $1 million watches.
I don't think he buys every pair.
Think they give them to him?
Yeah, because then you get a video like that.
Right. That's smart.
And then you get Floyd's Air Force Ones given away for charity. That's a tax write-off. There's all sorts of things that goes into
Yeah, you
that.
got a good point. But those $1 million watches, they're not giving you those.
As seen in his...
Joe Rogan didn't mince words when he took a shot at Floyd Mayweather, openly questioning the truth behind Floyd's claim of owning $42 million worth of property across 60 buildings. While Floyd often flashes these big numbers, many credible sources have cast serious doubt, saying his claims are more smoke and mirrors than reality. Despite the public image of a real estate empire, it's starting to look like Floyd's fortune might be built more on exaggeration than actual success.
Floyd went from being like a real exciting pressure fighter, and he had a bunch of hand problems, to like Money Mayweather, start talking, just boxing people's faces off. No more hand problems, much more money.
Yeah, I love what he's doing too, beating up these YouTube guys.
It's great.
I love it.
It's so funny that these guys are willing to get beat up by him.
Well, I think they're all delusional.
And one of the reasons why people watch him fight is not because he's like Mike Tyson, just goes out and destroys people. They like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit, and he's like, look at my $1 million watch, look at my fucking jet, look at my house, look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed, like this is $1 million worth of watches. This watch goes for $2 million. And they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes, but when I'll show you, when I'll show up, I bring out the big boy, and it brings out this watch that's covered in diamonds. It's like $5 million. And so you hate him.
Joe Rogan has all...
Over the years, Floyd transformed from being a thrilling, high-energy boxer into what we now know as Money Mayweather. Joe Rogan pointed out that at some point, Floyd shifted his focus away from the sport itself and became more about the dollars. Along the way, he also developed a habit of talking down to his opponents, which didn't sit well with many fans.
Floyd Mayweather applying for MMA license wants 6 to 8 months to train.
He's screwed.
First of all, they should give him everything they can get their greasy paws on, get him to fight Conor in an MMA fight.
You'd be screwed.
It's not just getting screwed. Like someone said it should be 1,000 to 1. That's not high enough. It's not high enough. If Conor McGregor was going to fight Floyd Mayweather in MMA, it is as close to 100% as anything ever gets ever. He's probably going to punch Conor in the face a couple of times. It's probably going to suck, but Conor's going to get a hold of him. And then he's going to be like a baby. And if that doesn't happen, he'll kick Floyd's legs out from under him. He'll kick his legs sideways. He'll kick them from the outside. He'll kick them from the inside. He'll stay way the way from any sort of a range where Floyd can punch him. It'll be a completely alien range for Floyd.
According to Rogan, Floyd is remembered not just for his skill in the ring, but mostly for the fortune he's racked up. There's no doubt he's one of the most recognized boxers in history, but Rogan didn't hold back in saying that if Floyd ever stepped into MMA, he'd be completely out of his depth. That comment highlights how some experts question Floyd's ability to succeed outside his comfort zone of boxing.
Said Floyd Mayweather hit him behind the head. So Floyd fired the referee in the middle of the bout. Floyd throws this punch, and he's 100% correct. The punch landed the side of the head. It's a right hook. It's a perfect punch. And the referee was saying, watch the back of the head. He's like, what the are you talking about? And so he kicks the guy out, and they bring in a different referee who finishes the fight. It was insanity.
In another podcast moment, Rogan shared a wild story about Floyd allegedly firing a referee during a fight. While that might sound unbelievable, Rogan used it as an example of just how much power and influence Floyd has in the boxing world. Moves like that, he said, could only come from someone sitting at the very top of the sport.
Boxing in terms of like how often you get hit versus how often do you hit the other guy, he's the best ever. The way him and his uncle and his father talk, I imagine they were always super competitive from the time they were young.
Yeah.
Like he grew up being they're super competitive. They're competitive about talking. They're competitive about all kinds of things. So it's like that hive, like growing up with that all the time, and the boxing skill.
Floyd
Rogan also touched on what fuels Floyd's drive to win. He credits to Floyd's upbringing, noting that both his father and uncle were highly competitive and constantly pushed him to be better. That kind of pressure helped shape him into the champion he became. But it also seems to be the same attitude he now brings into his business dealings and approach to wealth.
And Floyd Mayweather says he makes $300 million a month, which is $3.6 billion a year. He makes more money than Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, all of those guys. So I say all that to say this. The money that Canelo was looking for, they can easily come up with that money. Floyd Mayweather got it.
Well, listen, let me put it this way to you. If he makes what did he say, $300 million a month?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm 6'4" and 240. And I know I'm 5'8" and a half and 240. So there you go. There's no way. If he makes $3 million a month on his investments, that's a lot. $36 million a year. That's a lot. So I know guys that are worth, $500-600 million, plenty of them, and they don't make $36 million a year, let alone $300 million a month. So there you go.
Floyd once claimed he pulls in $3 million every single month, even suggesting that he makes more than Bill Gates. While fans might eat that up, anyone familiar with how boxing payments and pay-per-view deals work knows those numbers just don't hold up. Experts in the industry have mostly shrugged off those claims as unrealistic and far-fetched.
I believe in building generational wealth. Even like when my children, all 4 of my children are adults. And I told them, no more handouts. Because I feel like I'm hurting my children just by, I give them money, they go shopping, they put gas in their car, they party, they come back, I need money. I give them money, I buy them houses, I buy them cars. Told them, listen, if you guys go to school or you work in one of my businesses, then you can branch off, get your own business, and I'll put the money up to help you start a business, but I need you guys to take what I've already started and triple and double that, and then I need my grandchildren to come behind you guys and do the same thing.
Money has always been at the heart of Floyd's brand. He said before that he wants his kids to follow his path, not just in boxing, but in the business world too. His main goal, according to him, is to build wealth that lasts for generations. But while that mindset has earned him followers, it's also brought a lot of criticism from people who feel he cares more about cash than character.
We brought them over. I brought him over while Floyd was, still incarcerated. Then he comes home. There's the Let's Get Floyd Back in Pocket campaign that goes on, where it's $300,000 chains being bought and buying the new Lamborghini and all these new things, and I'm sitting there going, yo, when you gonna give me the money?
Because you'd already invested.
Right, like when you gonna give me your half of the money back. But I ain't trying to press him because he just got out of jail, right? So it's like, let him cool his heels before you.
Was that in the millions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you sitting there big, and I'm like, yo, so when, but see, the fighters are an asset in themselves. They are that talent, regardless. Right. So I'm looking at him going, so there ain't no pressure there, but I'm saying, when is he gonna say he wants to, to give me the other half of it? Why I gotta ask you for it?
Right.
And then when
are we talking over $2 million?
It's about that.
Oh, okay.
At that point, it was, invested in.
All right.
So look, he goes, when he finally does bring up the actual the situation, he acted like he didn't know anything. Like, I didn't tell y'all to do that. I didn't tell you to do that.
Oh, man.
And I'm looking at him, and he looked in my face and he didn't tell me to do that.
Despite all the money he says he's made, there have been several stories suggesting Floyd still owes money. One of the most talked about came from rapper 50 Cent. He claimed that when Floyd was in jail, he asked 50 to manage his promotion company. 50 Cent says he invested around $2 million. But when Floyd got out, he pretended like he didn't know anything about it.
So the money's really gone?
Yeah, that's what you think. Is get the money, spend the money.
All that money?
It took been 2 years.
So is it just his overhead is so high on a day-to-day, month-to-month? Like
I don't even want to talk about it. Like with the lifestyle, that money's gone, trust me. Now it's like call him, he'll be at your local host in a nightclub because you need that action right now.
Do you think step back in the ring?
I think you got to right now because the money gone.
And that wasn't the only time 50 Cent put Floyd on blast. He later said that even people close to Floyd don't like him much. According to 50, Floyd is obsessed with money and lacks real values. He says Floyd's constant bragging about wealth and status makes it hard for anyone to truly respect him outside of boxing.
Why fight Logan Paul?
Name another boxer besides myself that's more famous than Logan Paul.
Tyson Fury?
What? I want you to look up Tyson Fury, how many followers, and look up how many followers Logan Paul has.
Logan Paul, 56 million. Tyson Fury, 4 million.
So 50 compared to 4 something. I can fight a fighter right now, guarantee myself 35 million. Or me and Logan Paul can go out and entertain and have fun and make 100 million or more. So if you were me, you gotta look at 35 million for 12 rounds and 100 for 6 rounds. Big difference.
Oscar De La Logan Paul has his own beef with Floyd too. After their exhibition match, Logan publicly said he still hadn't been fully paid. The fight got worldwide attention and made millions, yet Logan claims he didn't get what he was promised. It's just another example of how Floyd's money-driven approach sometimes leads to controversy.
Floyd Mayweather fought another exhibition against Gotti last Saturday. A real the crowd booing in the arena at the end. But in the middle of the second round, Floyd literally had the referee swapped out. He didn't like that the referee told him to stop hitting behind the head. Floyd is used to having the refs do whatever he wants, and he wasn't getting his way this time. It was so embarrassing. Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week. But you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're gonna have to sell off your assets. I hate seeing this happen, bro.
Floyd has made La Hoya has also shared his thoughts, saying he believes Floyd still needs money, which is why he keeps coming back for fights now and then. De La Hoya explained that many boxers end up broke because of their over-the-top spending. Considering Floyd's lifestyle, luxury cars, designer clothes, private jets, it's not too hard to see why some worry about his financial future.
$1.8 million.
$1.8 million watch.
$1.8 million, dude?
You're the first to see it.
That's insane. That
1.8 is high. 18 life.
That happy birthday, champ.
That's how we doing.
1 point. That is sick, dude.
But you gotta show him what he's saying.
Money green.
No, hold on. This watch was made specifically for the champ, Floyd Money Mayweather. 101 piece.
One of one.
Money team.
Can we see it on him?
Yes, sir.
That one of one.
$1.8 million.
As if it's a one of one. I love that.
Floyd's love for flashy things is no secret. He once showed off a watch that cost $18 million and claimed he owns hundreds more, each worth thousands. While these luxury items definitely turn heads, they've also sparked questions about whether his spending habits are sustainable, even with a bank account as big as his.
New contract, you wanted no extensions. That's one thing.
Yeah,
makes sense.
that's one thing.
Okay. What was one of them? The ability to box?
One of them was the ability to box. They said that wasn't an option. Boxing is dead. It's not possible. This or that.
Now, what does that feel like to you, knowing that Conor McGregor did it and fought Floyd Mayweather and made $100 million?
Yes, gentlemen, let's do this.
Nah. A bitch, nigga, that's that shit I don't like. Nah. Nigga, that's that shit I don't like. Don't like. A snitch.
Floyd himself. Joe Rogan also gave his take on the Floyd versus Conor McGregor fight, calling it a straight-up money grab. Floyd had already retired, but came back for that match, earning a whopping $100 million in a single night. For a guy who's always talking about wealth, that fight was just another chance to cash in on his fame.
Still waiting. Well, I think I'm separated now. You know, I don't think there's no boxer in history that has accomplished what I've accomplished. Not bragging or boasting, just speaking the truth.
I take my hat off to a lot of legendary champions, you know, that paved the way for me to be where I'm at in the sport of boxing. But that was their era, and this is my era. I had a tremendous career. And we got young fighters that's on the rise, that's under our banner. The ultimate goal is to find the next Floyd Mayweather that can break my records.
Floyd is never shy about tooting his own horn. He often says no other boxer has achieved what he has. His confidence is clear, but so is his habit of constantly comparing himself to others. That attitude keeps his brand in the spotlight, but it also opens a door to criticism and doubt.
Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, what is your reaction?
When you're watching boxing for free, you can have millions and millions and millions of views. But when you're watching Floyd Mayweather, you have to pay. I think WWE is good for Logan.
And Jake Paul?
Easy. At 48, too easy.
Mike Tyson.
Here's something fans didn't miss. Floyd fought Logan Paul for money, then turned around and slammed Mike Tyson for agreeing to fight Jake Paul in his later years. That double standard didn't sit right with many people. It came across as Floyd trying to control the story, making money fights okay when he does them, but wrong.
You don't think there's an opportunity to land a big punch on Floyd?
Let me tell you something about Floyd. This is what I don't like about him either. No matter whatever we say about him, and it could be true, but he's in that gym. He's a rat. Yeah. He retired, but he stayed in the gym. He can't help it. He don't do drugs. That's his heroin, the gym.
Someone told me this. They say he doesn't have a vice. Yeah. He doesn't have a vice.
No, he does. The gym.
The gym.
The gym.
Floyd has been... And Mike Tyson didn't hold back either. He once said he doesn't like Floyd, mainly because even in retirement, Floyd can't stop flaunting his wealth.
Mayweather is the most successful boxer in history with a 50-0 record, and one of the wealthiest athletes of all time with $1 billion in earnings. But I bet you didn't know it all started with a $750,000 bet on himself. Here's the wild story. In 2006, Floyd Mayweather was 10 years into his boxing career and earning over $5 million per fight. At the time, Mayweather was signed to Bob Arum's Top-Rank Boxing promotion, a partnership which saw Arum get 25% of Mayweather's fight purse. But Mayweather wanted more, and in 2006, he turned down $8 million to fight Antonio Margarita and said he deserved $20 million to fight Oscar De La Hoya. Arum wasn't happy and wouldn't pay up, so Mayweather paid the $750,000 exit fee in his contract to leave Top Rank. Mayweather then went on to promote his own fights, earning a percentage of every ticket, hot dog, and beer sold at the event, and most importantly, all pay-per-views sold. And just 1 year later in 2007, after leaving Top Rank, Mayweather made $25 million for his win against Oscar De La Hoya. Now that's what happens when you bet on yourself.
That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for the next one.